So let's switch her back ASAP. And then we just have to monitor our virtues from this point on, I suppose. Meteor Rain, okay. With some shielding, that shouldn't be an issue. And then we're gonna take some damage every few actions we take. Okay. Alright. Let's get some extra damage. Let's get some extra dice. Ooh, a refresh, I like that. And a discard. Take that. The refresh is risky, obviously, but we can always switch her back if we switch her again, you know? So you're about to damage us with Crimson Solstice is the name. Alright, though. Overcorrupting her is not a big deal in this state. So maybe what we could do is hold off on the refresh, because if we get her to overcorrupt herself now, that would be ideal, but we just don't have enough actions to do that. Oh, actually we do. We could totally corrupt you with this. That would work. So now if we switch you, it shouldn't be too threatening. We do 1, 2, 3. And we have plenty of stuff to do it again. There's 1, and we can use the reduction next turn. Great, great. Reroll that. I see a lot of corrupt actions in there. Oh wow. Horrible reroll. It's a straight up horrible reroll there. Switch her state again, because she's probably going to get overcorrupted if I'm not careful. Let's reduce this. Let's draw a new die. Another reduction is great. And considering we do have all these actions, I actually am going to play them, since they are safe at this point. So we want to refresh that so we have the opportunity to switch. We may want to hurt ourselves a little bit more right now so we can get more damage out of Shark Payback, and even more once it rolls back around in the reshuffle. And I think we can do that pretty safely, so if we do this, heal up, it's at least 1 extra damage. And at this point, it's kind of risky, because we can switch her, of course, but we don't know what the next die is going to be. And obviously, if we play all of these, once she's switched, then we're going to take extra damage, right? Maybe let's discard one of these. Let's use the other one to hurt ourselves. Now we have plenty of damage to put out. So 5 plus 15 plus 2. And next turn we can switch if we need to. Oh no, Crimson Solstice. That was a bit of a misstep. Didn't realize the Sentinel was gonna do that to us, but alright, I guess it happens. Okay, so what are we looking at here? I'm thinking we're not too much at risk of overcorruption. At least not at the moment. Obviously, Meteor Rain could do that. We need at least, like, one shield on Astrea, and that should protect her. But again, if we need to just switch her state, then we can do that. Not a big deal. Do some discarding. Get rid of that. Let's use this. That'll be a lot of damage. So that'll trigger Crimson Solstice eventually. Okay. Discard this, and do I want to discard this? Let's wait on that, because there's kind of a lot that could happen there. We could discard the one corrupt action. The best play I'm seeing with this is to use a virtue and then refresh it to use it again, but of course that's gonna, you know, change the course of the fight a bit. Alright. Alright. We don't have any shields. I think it probably is best to just switch her now, then. Well, let's do that. Let's get rid of that die. Let's use something here, I guess. Let's use this. Let's go ahead and refresh that. And let's just make sure we won't lose a life. Protection I don't think is going to protect against much right now. It's not a bad die to have, it's just going to burn down this counter is the only issue. We do need to heal, so you got to do that at least. And we want to keep her in this state for at least this turn. Well, let's use protection because we do have an extra action, so that is okay for now. And all of these are going to be quite risky, so let's just move on. Gonna reshuffle. About the best time we could have asked for that. Pretty great hand there. See some Serenity and a lot of shielding and some wave. Okay. What I'm gonna do for the first couple of moves, at least, I'm gonna use Twin Smash. That's gonna trigger Crimson Solstice, so will be a refresh on that. Use it again. I see Serenity. Let's go ahead and use that. Let's heal using a Sentinel, because that doesn't actually burn our virtues or our actions, interestingly enough. Neither of these count towards either of those counters, if you didn't know that already. I see discard. We can discard both of these. Seems like you're about to get overcorrupted, and I see 12 damage there, which is horrible. So let's use a reroll here. Just get rid of that if we can. Yep, 6 damage is definitely better than 12. Let's hold off on the virtues because I don't want to switch her state right now. Let's go ahead and overcorrupt her. We're going to use some shielding to protect from that. And then we use the rest of the shielding to protect from the die. Alright. So at this point, now that, you know, Crimson Solstice has gone off and all that, and she's overcorrupted, we can switch her at this point, and that's fairly safe. But again, the only issue with that is we don't know what the die is going to be. So maybe let's not do that, because we just don't know what it's going to do to us. But this should be perfectly safe here. Yeah. And now, it's looking like we're most of the way through the fight. We still have 2 more lives. And there's not too much that is risky at this point. We've been managing the risk, I think, pretty well. We're just gonna have to keep thinking through the rest of the fight. So can I keep my mental on is really the big question. Can I keep my mental on? Let's see. I see a Hex die. I would love to get rid of that, but in order to do that, we have to re-roll, which means, you know, switching her state. Not too sure we have many Hex die, though. I think we only have 2, or maybe a handful. See 2 there in our hand. Oh no, we do have plenty of them. Never mind. I didn't realize we had that many. Alright, we'll just keep an eye on that. Alright, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Let's use a discard. Let's just get rid of these. Crimson Solstice is about to go off again, which shouldn't be that much of an issue. And then we have a lot of damage to do. Let's use this. This will be great damage. Crimson Solstice is kind of about to go off again. Like if we use Purging Anchor, and then we have to use this, so that would trigger it. And I believe if I do that, that might actually result in a overcorruption. I'll take you through it. So we do Purging Anchor, right? That's good damage, don't get me wrong. But then we would have to use this, which would trigger Crimson Solstice, so that would get her from 4 overcorruption to 6 to 8, and then Decay would take that up to 10. So that would be like 9 damage coming our way, which we cannot protect against right now. So I guess the only option we have then would be to switch her state now, or to just wait till next turn to do that. Which I think might be the move, because we can survive 5 damage now. Otherwise, what would happen if we switch her state? I'm trying to think. She would re-roll her die. We could play these dice here safely. And we would just have to worry about overcorruption, which I guess still would be an issue because we still do have to play this die here. And then, of course, Decay is going to bring that up to 6. So let's just do that and move on. Anything else we do is going to probably kill us. Alright. Ooh! Clutch Indigo Soul. I love that. Thank you very much, game. That relieves some stress on me. Which means we can actually just switch her state right now. Right now. Let's do that. Oh, that's a joke. Look at that. Area Corrupt 1. I love that. Get rid of these corrupt actions. Let's go ahead and use our virtues as much as we can. Let's invoke. Let's use all of these here. And that brings us pretty much to the end of the fight. We just have to survive another, let's say, 2 turns, I would say. And I think we can do that pretty easily. I don't get any damage out of a reroll, pretty sure. Oh. Alright. Let's take it. Let's take it to the end. Let's hold off on the virtues, because we don't know what's going to happen if we switch her state. And she's not at risk of overcorruption yet. Oh, did I get a debuff? Oh, no. I was thinking I got a debuff that isn't going to let me discard as much, but this is just a weak discard die, I guess. Fair enough. What is that? 36 more damage to do. Shouldn't be too hard. Let's see, I see 8 more wave here, so that'll raise the floor for us, so we don't have to deal as much damage, so to speak. Protection will protect against whatever we need it to, I guess. Okay, so that's 8 right there, 8 damage. Need 20 more. Not a lot of options, though. Not a whole lot of options. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Okay, so let's see. I can definitely see us losing a life if we're not careful here, because Astrea is going to overcorrupt herself if we let her deal this to herself. Even with the shielding, the decay is going to do it for us. So we do need to switch her state now. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and re-roll both of these hex die here. 12 damage die is not great, but she isn't going to use it if I kill her. Let's destroy this. Let's use all the rest of these dice, and that should do it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. We got it. Look at that. And we still have about another half an hour. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Got an achievement out of that, too. Oh, 2 achievements. Ah. Don't mind if I do. I believe those were for beating every... beating the game with every Oracle, and beating the game with Solarius, because that was the last one that we needed. So... where was that? Yeah, this one right here. Defeat Astrea with all oracles. Yep. Done. Done and dusted. And, of course, Solarius. Beat Astrea with Solarius. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Right, so what to do now? What to do now? There's still plenty of achievements to get through. And as far as I know, honestly, I don't think we have to get through Astrea level 9 or 10, or Anomaly level 9 or 10, because there's no achievements for them. So I think technically that doesn't count towards 100%. I still would like to get through them for the sake of completing everything that we can, because maybe we get a couple items out of that. I think if we don't want to, though, I don't think we have to. Which is pretty relieving, because we have been hitting that pretty hard. So I guess we could move on to any of these other achievements for the time being. Score at least 7,000 points in a run. It's probably going to be like a Sothis run or an Astrea run, if I had to guess. Win a run with only starter dice and one other type of die. And or one other type of die. Okay. Win a run with no sentinels. Oh, that's it. Okay, cool. Probably going to be this one then that we tried next. The Astromancer one. And otherwise, we just have these character achievements, which are pretty tricky, don't get me wrong. But we can move on to those later, once we get the easier ones done. Let's review these. So Solarius, deal Infinity Purification. I still have no idea how to do that. Play at least 20 virtues in a single run. Honestly, we probably got pretty close to that last time. If we went harder on the refreshes and the draw dice, we probably would have gotten that. For Hevelius, repair or rearm sentinels at least 20 times in one battle. That seems pretty hard to do. Have both sentinels with 4 different types of links. Also seems pretty hard to do. Acquire 12 different types of sentinels in a single run. Also seems hard to do. We tried to do that once and it didn't work. So that seems pretty tricky. Astrea, deal 50 purification with a safe die. That sounds like it wouldn't be that hard to do. We just get some critical multipliers and a high damage die. But we just haven't gotten there yet. Play a die with at least 50 confuse on an enemy without any percentage modifiers. I'm not sure where we're going to find a die with a 50 on it, but it's got to be out there somewhere. For Sothis, have at least 4 creatures with at least 15 affliction. We tried that. We got up to 2, I think. I think we had a battle where it was like a one-on-one battle. And we were able to get 15 on each of those, like myself and the enemy. But we got to double that. And then for Orion, win a ground 0 battle without moving any orbs. We tried that. We couldn't even get to ground 0. Move your orbs 50 times in a single battle. That seems pretty tricky. It's going to have to be a lot of reshuffles and a lot of revolution dice. And Astrium Specialist, trigger Astrium 4 times in a single turn. That's probably going to be the easiest out of these 3, but that still is not easy to do. Okay. So we've got a grind ahead of us, for sure. We definitely do have a grind ahead of us. So let's go for the 7,000 in one run. And again, I think that's going to be probably achieved by Astrea or Sothis because they have the highest potential to break the game and kind of make things go crazy. Let's try Astrea. It's been a minute since we've done Astrea. And again, we're going to crank down the difficulty because I'm pretty sure we don't need to do anomaly level. Maybe there's a secret achievement to do, something like that. I don't know if I want it completely off, because that just might make it a little too easy, but honestly, we might need it. At this point, I mean, this game is something else, man. Something else. Honestly, aside from like The Binding of Isaac, this might be one of the harder roguelites I've ever played. I haven't played too many of them, but this is definitely one of the harder ones. And look at that, we have the little mark there saying that we beat Astrea. Finally. But let's go ahead and start this. And I'm actually going to take a little bathroom break, so just give me a minute here, I'll be back.